So as a follow-up to this video for my friends who play video games and I haven't convinced yet, we're gonna record as I figure out how to set up Steam and get the play compatibility layer work for games that don't run natively. While Linux isn't perfect, Ubuntu is, I think, the most stable version and as close to a seamless desktop as you can get. And honestly, I've never had quite as many crashes and other shenanigans as I do with Linux. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I have a screenshot that I'm going to include when I edit this video later. You'll be seeing it on screen here because it is just the most hilarious thing, and I think it perfectly illustrates one of my biggest complaints with Windows. See if my internet connection will work with me here. There we are. Okay. We're gonna see how hard it is to set up. And for anyone who's wondering, I have Ubuntu 20.04, which is supposed to be the long-term support version, and is their most recent update. So there has been, I've had a couple issues, but again, it seems like things crash, at least to my eyes, a lot less than they did on Windows. So I think it's an improvement in stability for sure. And we're gonna have to keep dealing with my garbage internet, but that is okay. Oh, that's a direct link. So actually, it's a perfect illustration of how it's nice to be proficient with the command line. We're just gonna... Oh,
something went wrong.
I say as I make a typo. Well, would you look at that? It's much quicker than actually loading their website. Okay, so this is one of the examples of times where you can't immediately run something by just doing that. Some software hasn't been approved by the makers of Ubuntu or other versions of Linux, but that's okay. Because if you get a .deb file, they're essentially the same as program installers on Windows, and you just do that. So we're gonna, oh, it's done already. Okay, that's quicker than I expected. Now let's go, and you see it's right there, like you would expect it to be. While that's sitting there for a second, just appreciate, once this loads, the glory of Windows. Nope, it's not loading. Okay. There we are. My single favorite thing that Windows has ever done to me. This is a screenshot that I am going to keep until the end of time, just for the fools who refuse to stop using Windows. And obviously, I'll give my friends a break if the whole gaming on Linux thing doesn't work, because, you know, I get loving your video games. And you know, actually, while we're here waiting for Steam to do its thing, here is, yep, the same installer file like before. Also, Steam, okay, Steam is still going. Put that over there for the moment. I'm gonna download that. Back to standard size over here. Okay, that's going. Steam's going. Okay. Steam is almost done. And actually, the first time that I installed Linux to try it out, I did what's called dual booting, which is where you can have two operating systems at the same time. And I did that, and I tried installing Steam there, and once it did all this stuff, vibing on its own, it looked basically just like Steam on Windows. And like I say, a lot of the graphics libraries that your applications use on Linux still allow them to render essentially the same as though it was an operating system like Mac or Windows. So there's functionally no difference. Okay, so now we're here. Looks like Steam to me because it is in fact Steam, and we're gonna see if I remember my Steam password. While that's working, so I'm gonna install Minecraft. Okay. So here's one problem sometimes with installing these packages this way instead of just through the package manager is that it doesn't manage if there's another package that it needs. It doesn't always take care of that for you. However, we're going to fix that because right up there they so kindly told us what it is that we don't have that we need. I'm gonna add -y to tell it to not prompt for confirmation and to just do it, and then we're gonna tell it to finish the install like that. Oh. Okay, so now what? Okay, so yeah, this is sometimes this happens, and okay, so we will. It's very helpfully telling us what to do. I'm just dumb and I couldn't read it. All right, so now let's see. Let's actually take a moment to stop and read what it's doing here. It's installing a bunch of Java stuff, and it looks like it's not going to manually install Minecraft, so we'll have to run that again. And that is okay. And now we're going to leave that here to run for a second because I just heard a ping that I got my Steam code, and that was the original subject of this additional video. So we're going to let this go. I forgot that just like Windows, Ubuntu does come with a lot of programming languages, but for some reason, or, well, actually, I know the reason, Java is not one of them because it's proprietary. It's going to work just fine for us. And now off screen here, I've grabbed my Steam code. Very cool. So Minecraft is done. I'm probably not going to know my login, but that's besides the point. Because once you have the launcher running, it should work fine. But it's just on my end. Yeah, that's me. Okay, so we'll show that later. Steam is done. And now, let's see. If I remember from the other time I installed Steam on, well, once a virtual machine and once on dual booting. Okay, sometimes it had to install some additional things and it popped out a very not Windows looking window to do that. But it looks like this time that might not be the case. Yep, here we are. Okay, so let's see if we'll have sufficient internet to appease Gaben and his servers, but we may not. But okay, so if we look at all games I own, some of them are natively compatible, like Zero Truck or Leaf Counter-Strike is also yes. Let's talk about compatibility. Now, go to game engineers. No, it's sure not natively with Windows. We're gonna I think. Oh, never mind. See that it's not quite seamless to install. But if you go to a game's properties and click on this button, you'll see even before I've closed this window, the install button has gone blue. So I've now installed both Counter-Strike and Space Engineers. Counter-Strike is native to Linux, so we'll give that a try, but I'm more interested actually in Space Engineers. And just for information, it's running under the Steam Linux runtime, and if we have issues, we'll try Proton, but I think that's the one it chooses by default, so I figured that's what we should try first. Do that. Let's just Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is doing something over here. So I guess we're going to try it as a native game. See if I'm killing apps that don't. Oh, all right. Progress. hasn't crashed like Space Engineers. Doesn't appear that anything was broken. Okay, and so just for the sake of demonstration, let's try this. Right? Okay, so do an update about how that went. Alright, controls are normal and cool. I didn't buy anything. So now this video has just become a me being bad at Counter-Strike episode. I do notice some frame dropping, but I don't know if that's OBS or what. Yeah, definitely some frame dropping. Could be screen recording, I don't know. All the controls are behaving like I expect them to. Now the question is, why? Okay. How am I not dead? I don't know how I died, or how I didn't die. My health isn't on screen, so I guess we won't know. Now that I'm noticing, yeah, there are in fact quite a few parts of the menu missing, like my ammo and my health are not here. But I don't know if that's just my graphic settings being bad. Oh well. We'll give you a good old yep, okay. So, ups and downs, obviously. This game meant for Linux, only a few issues. I think it's probably just my resolution setting.